Post-traumatic growth sounds like a great concept, doesn't it? You experience growth after you've experienced trauma. But how exactly do you achieve this? Let's find out. Hi, I'm Andre from rewireandthrive.com. In my previous video, I explained what post-traumatic growth is. But in this video, I will share with you different strategies that will help you to achieve post-traumatic growth. I always like to keep things practical, so let's look at some concrete steps someone could take to help them achieve post-traumatic growth. The first step that is required is for them to ensure their own safety. This includes physical and psychological safety. For example, if they are in a physically dangerous environment, they need to get out of there before doing anything else. Or even if they are physically safe, but in an emotionally abusive environment, they need to change it or get out of there as well. People can't heal and grow if they don't feel safe. So this first step could include things like ending relationships if they can't be improved, changing jobs, moving, etc. This means it could take anything from just a few hours to a few months to implement, but it's a crucial step to complete before proceeding. The second step is to calm their nervous system, because someone who has been traumatized has a dysregulated brain and nervous system. They are stuck in the sympathetic nervous system, also known as the fight, flight, or freeze mode. They need to down-regulate their nervous system from this mode to the calm parasympathetic nervous system, also known as the rest and digest mode. TRE, or tension and trauma releasing exercises, are very effective at accomplishing this. Alternatively, they can do things like yoga, meditation, or breathing exercises. And only once they are physically and emotionally safe, and they are in a calm body and nervous system, should they move on to step 3. The third step is desensitization. Desensitization can be achieved by doing things that are scary but not dangerous. People can first rehearse doing scary things using their imagination, and then they can slowly start doing those things in real life. For example, let's say a person was in a bad car accident which left them traumatized and terrified of driving again. They shouldn't just get into a car and start driving again, because this could re-traumatize them and it could be very dangerous for themselves and other people on the road. Instead, they should start by imagining they are driving again, while they are in a calm and relaxed state. And when they feel they are triggered by this scene and starting to feel anxious while imagining it, they should very deliberately relax the muscles in their body and take slow, deep breaths to avoid going into fight, flight, or freeze mode. Why relax their muscles, you may ask? Because it's not possible to be anxious in a relaxed body. And only once they can imagine themselves driving without feeling anxious and triggered should they attempt to slowly start driving for real. The reason they should only do desensitization after they are safe, have calmed their nervous system, and are able to self-regulate is to help avoid the risk of re-traumatizing themselves. And only then will they have the ability again to be self-reflective and self-evaluative, which are essential qualities for inner work. Because someone who is in fight, flight, or freeze mode doesn't have full access to their prefrontal cortex in the brain. It shuts down while they are in this mode. And we need the prefrontal cortex for self-reflection and self-evaluation. So it's crucial that they calm their nervous system first to regain those abilities. And the last step is integration. People struggle to recover after a traumatic event because they can't process what happened to them. Essentially, post-traumatic growth is achieved by integrating psychologically overwhelming experiences. But how do you do that? Integrating these experiences often requires people to transform or expand their sense of identity, self-perception, beliefs, or worldview. And that isn't the type of thing that they can do in a step-by-step or linear way. It's a process they have to go through, and it's different for everyone. However, there are some guidelines or principles they can follow to help them integrate traumatic experiences. 1. It takes effort. Realize that post-traumatic growth isn't something that just happens by itself. You have to work towards it, and difficulty is part of the process. 2. Work through the pain. When bad things happen, you can't just get back to normal. It's only by working through the pain that you can hope to move forward. Avoiding the pain will just prolong it. 3. Acknowledge and accept. Acknowledge your losses rather than denying them or trying to forget about them. And accept that what happened was real and validate your feelings about it. 4. Don't be a victim. Avoid blaming God, the universe, people, circumstances, or anything else for what happened to you. It won't help you grow. Instead, choose post-traumatic growth over victim mentality. 5. Create a new narrative. To help you move forward with your life after experiencing something traumatic, create a new narrative for yourself. This means finding positive meanings and lessons from your trauma. 6. Openness and optimism. The attitudes of openness to new experiences and optimism about the future are critical to achieving post-traumatic growth. Focus on the future and find hope beyond your tragedy. Avoid turning a negative event into a negative life phase. 7. Stay connected. It is also very important to stay connected to your friends and family and avoid isolating yourself too much after a traumatic event. This is especially true for more introverted people who will be naturally inclined to withdraw. Being in close contact with loving and supportive people can greatly assist your healing. 8. Helping others. By helping other people in need, you will speed up your healing process immensely. This could be random people you come across, or it could be by volunteering at some type of shelter, for example. But depending on what happened to you, you may find yourself in a hole that is just too deep to climb out of on your own. If you feel it is just too much for you to deal with, and you are not able to calm your nervous system or process and integrate what happened to you, reach out to someone who is trained to deal with trauma. There is no reason for you to continue suffering the way you do at the moment, because trauma and PTSD are treatable. Thank you for watching. See you next time.